So, have you ever had the feeling that you wanted to talk to someone, but you feel like you actually might be annoying or bothering the other person, so you don't really say anything? And it's not because you don't have anything to say, you do have something to say, but you are holding yourself back because you're afraid of making some kind of mistake. And you can smile and nod, but deep down inside, you know that that's not going to make a genuine connection with the other person to be able to create good friendships. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I know it's really annoying because you actually want to say something, but you just can't. It's kind of a problem when you're trying to be some more sociable. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and, of course, the bell. So this part's actually completely random, but one of the things that I noticed because the weather is cooling down is that whenever I'm outside and I'm talking to someone and I'm shivering, I'm really trying to keep my body warm, actually make my body feel like it's more nervous or something, and I can't make the words that I say come out even more smooth. So just one of the things that if you're actually going to try to talk when the weather is really cold, warm yourself up so you feel more comfortable, your body's more relaxed. So it's completely random, but it's kind of cold right now. But the points that we'll be going over today for if you're feeling like you're bothering other people is one, why exactly does it happen? I mean, you have to understand the source before we change anything, right? And two, how do you take steps to getting over it? So the breakdowns, the first steps, what exactly do you do? So let's get into it. So first, why exactly does this happen? And one of the main things I want to talk about here is negative experiences. Because let's take for example that you're taking a test. And for this particular test, no matter what you do, you send in your test answers and it just comes out as wrong. And this test doesn't tell you which questions you got wrong, it doesn't tell you which ones are right. You have no idea why you got the test wrong. And all you've been doing all this time is just sending in the same test with different answers, hoping that it will give you a right answer of some sort. And as you can see here, this is a huge problem because if the test comes back and you don't know which ones are right or wrong, you just know that the whole test is wrong, you might change your right answers, you might change your wrong answers, but ultimately you have no idea how to get right of the whole test. You don't know how to score a good score. And what's even more frustrating is you see everyone else around you, they're scoring really high on the test. And you're like, what the heck? It's kind of discouraging, and for you personally, you'll just feel like maybe this test just wasn't meant for you. It's impossible to get a good score on this test. And this is what I feel like is happening when you are considering the source of you feeling like a bother to other people. If things hasn't been working out for you socially in the past, and it has happened again and again, then the next time that it will happen, you'll of course assume that it's the worst. And more than that, you'll assume that you are the problem. And because of that, self-doubt comes into your mind. And you'll feel like whenever something happens, you're bothering someone. You don't want to annoy people. You have nothing good to contribute. Because so much experience has added up in the past that you just assume that whatever you do will be wrong. And this mentality has to change, because once you feel and change that fundamental and understand that you can actually have a positive interaction with other people, it's like that little click inside. You will be able to continually go towards that direction and change that life. This is one of the small wins that you can have. When you actually muster the courage to kind of go out there and try to just talk to people normally, and it happens, and you're actually not bothering other people, and you can just talk to them normally, that feeling, sense of accomplishment, is that win that you want to repeatedly get. And when you put yourself out there and good comes after one after the other, then you will start to be able to see that you can win in this environment, and that all you need is basic social foundations in terms of how exactly do you do it, and then just do it over and over again, and then you'll prove to yourself that you can do something like this. So now how do you actually go about getting over this? And this really has to do with you training your mind to focus on the right things. So let me explain this a little bit. The analogy that I really like to use is kind of like eating Skittles. I don't know if you guys know what Skittles are, but it's basically like a packed candy, and it's really chewy, and it has like these multiple colors inside of these kind of candies about that big. And it has like yellow, orange, red, green, blue, purple, like all different colors of the rainbow. That's what it says. But one of the things is that what if whenever you use Skittles, all you see when you see the bag of Skittles is where exactly is the blue Skittles? You pour it out, and the question you're asking yourself is that, is this the blue Skittles or not? And if it's not, you don't care what it is, all you're seeing is the blue Skittles. If the Skittles is not there, you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's not there. But if it's there, you get it. So why exactly am I using this analogy? Because for some of us, that blue Skittles might be your mistake. And your question that you might be asking yourself is, did I do anything wrong? And when you pour out that bag of Skittles, as soon as you see that blue Skittles, that is the fault that you emphasize on. You don't care exactly what are all other Skittles. All you can see is your fault, because that's the only question that you're asking. So if you train your mind to ask a different question, then you can see the entirety of the whole Skittles, so that you will be able to see what the entire conversation is about. Like a question that you can ask yourself is, what exactly am I doing right already in this conversation? And when you're asking this question, this allows you to start to see the conversation in a different way. Like, you might start noticing that you are putting in good amount of enthusiastic energy to make sure that the conversation is going well. That you are saying some things, but then on some parts maybe you froze up a little bit, but those parts did not neglect the fact that you did say some good things that other people were appreciative of. And what this is really doing is that instead of just focusing on the single blue Skittles, that you start to see all the different colors, like yellow, blue, green, and then you start to see that conversation isn't just about that single focused blue one, because it's not. And you can enjoy the entire bag and be able to have a much better experience. So this might feel like a very simple change in terms of just asking a different question. But for us, asking a different question repeatedly to ourselves, that is actually what will make a different impact. Because by the question that we're asking ourselves subconsciously, that is the answer that we will get. Because I'm pretty sure you have this experience where, let's say you bought a new watch, and suddenly out of nowhere, you start to see the same watch worn by everyone else. And these watches didn't just magically appear. It's because now you have suddenly aware of this watch's existence. You start asking yourself, where have I seen this watch before? And this is the point that we're trying to get. You want that underlying question inside of yourself to be about the positive aspects of social things that you have accomplished, so that you are suddenly seeing not just the negative things that you're doing wrong, but also the positive things. And this will also help you not to be overly focused on the single mistake that you feel like will ruin your life, which it will not. And you'll balance out with the good things that you are doing already, and giving plots for your efforts, because you give good efforts where good efforts are due. This is a pretty broad topic, so if I have not covered the grounds that you have questions for, feel free to leave a comment, and whatever you ask, then that's what the answer you will get. So I encourage you to ask questions, because honestly, it's pretty frustrating to like play a game where you have no idea how to win this game, and if you're even doing anything that's right. And it's frustrating. And it's even more frustrating when you see other people winning that game already. So that's why gotta improve. But with everything out of the way, this is completely random, but did you know that if you close your eyes when you eat Skittles, that you can't actually tell the difference between the Skittles, or it's very subtle? Yeah, but that's just completely random. I just want to throw in that random facts about Skittles, and that is it. If you find this video helpful, you can like, share, subscribe, comment, and that is it. I'll talk to you guys next time.